Hello and welcome to Couples Drive, where married couples share their stories from when they met, courted, got married and beyond. I'm your host, Atuboyan. This week we are introducing singles on Couples Drive. So I hitched a ride with two single individuals to tell us their experience on living a single life before marriage. This is part one of my ride with Edwina and Philip. Take a look. Thank you guys for making time to hitch a ride with me to tell us how things are from the perspective of an unmarried man and unmarried woman. First of all, how does it feel being single and unmarried? How is it like?
Interesting. I think Edwina is ready.
You said it's interesting?
Yeah, it's an interesting question.
I mean, it has its moments. Like, you have your moments where, I mean, you're like, you have time, you can hang out, do whatever you want to do, have something for yourself, set some goals that you want to accomplish. So, to me, it's not bad, but it would be nice to have, like, a companion, you know?
Why? What makes it nice? Why would it be nice to have a companion?
I mean, it would be nice to have a companion in the sense that, like, you have someone to, like, plan stuff with. I like to travel, so you would be like my ultimate travel buddy. And then, like, just building memories together, hanging out with somebody that you have things in common with, and just bonding and, like, you know, growing together.
Interesting.
All right. Philip.
Aye. Okay, so I take off where she left off. Until it's your time to get married, you don't really care, I believe.
You don't care?
You don't feel the urgency for it until there comes a time in your life where you feel the need for a partner, I believe. Because it's interesting, and I decided to take off from there because prior to recently, where I started feeling like there's a need for a wife, there was nothing of such sort. There was no need for it, and I never had to worry about it. And when people talk about it, it's only funny to me. It's something to laugh about all the time. Until gradually I realized that, as she was saying, you need a companion, someone you can plan life with. It gets to a point in your life where you just know you need a companion. I was telling you,
just know, or something really drives that. There's something really, motivates that.
Scripture says, Paul says that if there's burning, then you have to consider getting married. And for the human being that we are, we at some point will have need of a companion.
Okay.
Sexually, emotionally, all of the reasons for which you feel the need for a person begin to become real to you, and then you know that you should start thinking about settling down. Okay. So after all the fun that you can have alone and all the stress-free life as a single person that you can take advantage of, there still comes a time where you know that you must settle down. And if you want to do it the right way, where you just don't go about breaking hearts and just hanging out with anyone and just dumping them, you really want to carefully consider settling down with a soulmate, a life partner. So that time comes.
All right. So do you feel the urge, especially when you live in an environment where almost every week, every weekend, especially during summer, your friends are getting married, this person is getting married, and there's this sense of like pressure, right? Do you really feel that you are being left out?
I think the answer will pertain differently as in to a guy and to a girl.
I mean, to me personally, I say no. I don't feel pressured because just because you're ready to get married, that doesn't mean I'm supposed to feel some type of way. I'm happy for majority of my friends are married, you know, and I mean, I guess their time came. As for me, I don't feel pressured, and I always tell everybody, like, I'm enjoying my life right now. There are certain goals and things that I haven't accomplished yet, and I feel like I'm utilizing the time. Like they say, I'm maximizing my singleness.
Wonderful.
You know, to like get things done, and I'm not closed off about like settling down, but like if the opportunity presents itself, then it will. But I'm not feeling like, oh my God, all my friends are getting married, so I need to find somebody who I feel. No, I'm enjoying myself, and especially summer. I'm enjoying my summer.
Wonderful.
I'm traveling. Every weekend I have something going on, so I'm pretty busy.
Come on.
So
that's sweet.
You know, I don't have time to really sit and dwell and ponder on like, oh my God, when am I gonna get married? No.
Well, so different for a man, as I said earlier, and her answer clearly states that. The difference will be that for a man, you are the one going to take the initiative, especially from our community and what we've had tradition be. You are the one to go find a woman and express interest and see the possibility of settling down. So because it depends on you, you must have the means to make it happen first. So you can desire it, you can feel like you are being left out. All those pressures can come your way, but it truly depends on your preparedness as a man. So even though your friends get married and all of that, you know that financially, emotionally, professionally, career-wise, all of these things you must consider first as a man, unless you are, again, just wanting to go in for other benefits and then really considering settling down. If you want to settle down, you want to get married and be a responsible man and be responsible for your home, you are dealing with the real issues, not just your friends getting married. That's nothing to even think about when it comes to considering what kind of an event you're going to have as a marriage ceremony for yourself and the woman that you are looking at settling down with is desiring. That's something to consider, whether professionally and academically and career-wise you have achieved all your goals, whether what you're doing now is going to be able to support the family when you bring someone on board. Those are real issues to think about rather than just friends getting married and so I want to marry too.
But then also, like, piggyback of what he just said, like, you could also be in a relationship, but then like since all your friends are getting married, you kind of like end up putting pressure on your partner. You know, and then let's say like you guys are still getting to know each other, and I mean you never know someone 100%, but then it's like it's unnecessary pressure that you're about to put on this individual for him to, like an ultimatum for him to make a decision, and then the decision can be either he's not ready and then he ends up ending the relationship, or you guys pressure it and end up getting married, and then it's like you guys got married for the wrong reasons. You know, and that's why divorce rates are very high nowadays. You know,
do you think that happens quite often?
I feel like for our generation, a lot of people are getting married for the sake of getting married. It's like competition. Everybody's doing it, so I want to do it too. And I also feel like a lot of people nowadays getting married, it's like there's a motive behind it. Either I'm getting married for financial purposes, or some people are getting married because, I want to leave my parents' home. You know? And why are you laughing? So I just feel like commitment nowadays is not golden. golden.
What do you mean it's not golden? It's not what
People
it used to be in the
don't
past, or
prioritize
Yeah, it's not what it used to be in the past. Like, it's not genuine. It's not like two people like really getting to know each other, accepting each other for who they are, accepting for your flaws, and saying like, this is my life partner. This is somebody that I see spending forever in a day with. You know, we're just getting married because it's like, oh, I just got married last month. Oh my gosh, so now I gotta get married this month. Oh my God, this one got married. So then it's like you're stuck in a pool where it's like you're not really understanding the real definition of marriage.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
You know, and then once the ceremony's over, everybody came and cheered, partied, and then you guys are behind closed doors. Then reality kicks in, and you're like, whoa, I did not sign up for this.
Now, Philip, you said something earlier about you said it's the man's responsibility to go out there to find the woman. That is traditional, that is cultural, you know, custom. What are your thoughts about a woman proposing to a man?
Interesting one, because this has been a matter of discussion every time singles gather and things like that. And my personal take is that because it's going to be a union between people that must be connected in every facet of their lives, the way I am driven academically, I think my wife should have some kind of drive academically as well. The way I'm driven spiritually, I think my wife should have some kind of spiritual drive that way. If it's not same level, she should also yearn to please God the way I yearn to. I'm coming there.
Oh, okay.
I'm coming there. Okay. So if you consider all those things, because it's going to be a union between people that share a lot of similarities. Look, once you find your soulmate, it doesn't matter where it's going to come from at that point. If you meet someone that you see there's a lot of similarity and commonness in the way you think and settling down, as you talk, you discover it. And once the woman, I'll start with the woman, because normally they are the ones that shy away from that thing. Once the woman is sure that, look, we have a lot in common, and I think this guy I'm talking to, for the fact that he even spends this much time with me over the phone, or he's willing to hang out more and things like that, and we share so much in common, I think he may be heading there.
Okay.
You see, but again, here the ladies have to be very, very cautious and careful about how they pick up those signals they are seeing from the other end, from the guy, because it's a thing that is not common. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to be the one to decide based off the relationship you have had so far as friends, then you must be careful that you are doing it very wisely, such that it doesn't come off to the man as you being cheap or something, but you, even the way and manner you communicate it. If the guy has maybe not be considering marriage, or not be considering you for marriage, or maybe has other options he's looking at, the way you communicate it alone can indicate to him that you are the right one, or can set him thinking about considering you as a wife now than the later he's been thinking about. Okay, so it all goes to the guy you are dealing with, and of course, it depends on what you cherish. If you cherish a matured guy, you won't be scared to come out and express in a very mature way to a guy that you are seeing signs. Occasionally, you can use phrases like, "I think we have a lot in common." You see, things like that should set a guy thinking. Okay, you don't necessarily go propose, be on your knee like a guy will come do. No, but you give signals that you see in him a potential for a good father or a good husband. So tell him, I think you make a very great husband and a father. You have so much patience around kids. And that's a very good thing to hold up to for whoever is going to be your wife. You say something like that to him, it sets him thinking. He knows you can identify the good things about him. Okay, so it's a skillful way the women can do it. I mean, the ladies can make it happen. The guys can make it happen. They shouldn't restrict themselves.
So essentially, you are okay with the female actually taking the initiative,
yes,
taking the lead, but
yes,
it's a matter of how it's approached.
Yes,
the approach that is used.
Yes.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I feel like a female should not get on her knees and propose. I mean, if you guys are together and have started, there should be a communication of marriage or like where this relationship is going. As far as like, are you guys on the same page? As far as like, do you guys see marriage? Like you said, things that you guys have in common, things, what potential that she may have that you see that you like, potential that he has that you like, and then like, it's just a discussion that should be held. And from that discussion, both of you should know where you both stand for it to know if this is going to somewhere or I'm wasting my time, you know. I mean, we've been culturally trained to let the man lead. The man is the one that initiates everything. The man is the one that initiates propose, engagement, initiate everything. But I mean, you don't, me personally, I just feel like marriage, it's both of you have to be ready. Because what if like I come propose to you and then you're looking at me like a deer in headlights, like I'm not ready for that. How am I gonna take it? You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at what point do you decide to take that initiative? After how many months or years of courting or getting to know that person do you think it's appropriate, is good enough, is long enough for you to make that step or take that step? I
honestly feel like everybody is different. And I cannot say, oh, a month, 2 years, 3 years, you know. I guess it depends on the individuals and the situation and how they feel and how things are moving. You know, there are some people who have met and 3 months later they're proposed, married, and are still going strong, you know. And there are people who are together for 5, 6, 7 years, got married, and it didn't last long. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it depends.
So what would be your ideal time frame?
Like I said, I'm not in the situation, so I can't say offhand like when I want it to happen. You know.
So if
like,
somebody you were to meet a guy, right? The guy shows every sign and has all the qualities that you look for in a man, and you guys, met 3 months ago, and the guy said, "Okay, I'm ready. Can we do this?" Would you say it's too soon?
I wouldn't say it's too soon. I mean, if I'm emotionally ready, why not? Yeah. You know.
How emotionally ready? Like, what is emotionally ready?
No, like
ready to commit.
I'm ready to commit to him. The emotions are reciprocated back, you know, and like everything that I'm looking for in a partner.
Right. But do you think within that 3 months, it's good enough, it's long enough for you to really interpret those emotions?
It depends. It depends on
the kind of
relationship you have with the individual and who the individual is. Like, there are some people that you meet and you connect with right away.
That's it.
You know? And then it's like, you say things are moving fast, but then it's just like, you guys are both like at a place where you know what you want. So it's just like finding the missing piece of the puzzle and just connecting it.
Okay.
You know, and then you can meet someone where in the 3 months you're like emotionally invested, you're ready, and then on his end, he's like, we just met. You know, like, I'm not ready. So it depends on the two individuals at the point in time they are in their life and like what they are searching for.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
That's how I feel.
Philip, do you share the same?
Timeline, right? Timeline is a question, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's depends on the people involved. It's different for different people. Because, as she said, some people you meet and right away you connect. With the example of the lady I had met recently, if I was ready to get married, why wait? See, we will, because even as you interact, you exchange, you meet, you talk, you hang out, you realize that this person is different from everyone you have known so far, and you have been considering settling down and you've been praying about it, so why not? Make it happen, okay? Because once you have made up your mind that this is someone I see potential in, then you want to progress and ask the necessary questions. You want to know family and things like that, you know? Things that will make a marriage happen. You start asking those questions. Because some people's first encounter give away every good thing in them. Others, it will take them time for you to unearth these things. So it depends on how long it takes you to discover everything that makes peace for you in a partner.
And what are some of those things that you actually need to see, or the person needs to have the opposite? What is a deal breaker for you? What are some of the very important things that you cannot do without that the person needs to have?
You narrowed it down. Very important things that this person needs to have.
Like a deal breaker.
Well, fulfill. Go ahead, Edwina.
Yeah,
it looks like you're ready.
For me personally, is respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, respect is big for me because.
Respect for you or general?
General.
Okay.
Because and this is my motto that I even tell my clients, like, you don't have to like me, but as long as you respect me, you like me. You get me?
Okay.
You know, like if we have mutual respect for each other, it works. Because the last thing you want to do is like be a disrespectful being to someone that you're trying to get to know. It's such a turn off, you know. And honesty. Be honest. Be honest about your intentions. Be honest about what you want. Be honest about who you are. You know, like, don't, like, for me, for instance, like when I meet someone, they will tell me like, what are your deal breakers or what are you looking for? I don't tell them.
Why?
Because I'm not gonna tell you what turns me off or what turned me on, so you could proclaim that individual for me. But in actuality, that's not who you are.
Okay.
So I won't tell you anything. I'm just observing you, and as time goes on, I'll be like, oh, so these are some of my deal breakers. I'll point it out to you. Same way you're gonna point out my own, and then we can work on that. You know.
Okay. So on the same note, what are you bringing into a relationship? Because you are expecting this person to have this kind of qualities. What are you bringing?
I'm bringing the same thing that I'm asking for.
The same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fairly respectful.
Fairly.
I'm very respectful, and I don't disrespect anyone unless you give me a reason to. But and I'm honest. You know, I don't feel like I should lie about something, because once you start off a relationship with a lie, you gotta keep up that lie, because then, like anything, the truth always comes out, and then when it comes out, you're gonna end up losing something or someone that you really want, you know, or that you have invested in. So
Okay. All right, Philip. Now your turn.
Yeah, so for the ardent believer that I am, I will expect that she will be a believer too. And not just that, but she really understands and has a personal relationship with God for herself.
definitely.
Once that's taken care of, I believe whatever is difference, if this person is someone that is passionate about pleasing God, then whatever I want from her, we can work it out, because we will subject our will to God, and God will make it happen for us.
What if the person is not there yet and is struggling some way somehow?
You can help them.
Struggling, if you say struggling and they admit that they're not there yet and they need some things worked on, I'm welcome. I mean, she's welcome. I'm gonna help her out, and we're gonna work it out together. Whatever she finds a deficient in me, and she can also tell me about, and she'll be helping me out on that note. But there's some people, you see, that do not recognize that they need help, or they must work on a thing. Okay, they think, oh, this is the way I am, this is the kind of home I grew up in, and I'm not going to let this thing down, because I mean, when I have to speak, for example, I'm going to speak regardless of who you are. I'm just going to tell you my opinion. It's a good thing. You have to be able to express yourself as much as you can, but not all the time, or the approach to doing that. Okay, so you must understand that maybe you have to work on your approach. Though it's good to be very opinionated and things like that, but not all the time, not in certain ways, not towards certain people. This is going to be your husband, this is going to be your wife. You're going to be stuck with this person the rest of your life. You must adapt to the way they like you to do it. Okay, so people
must adapt to the way they like you to do it.
Yes. If you're going to trade off certain things, you're going to trade off certain things at all costs. When you get married, you're not going to find someone that is exactly like you. Life is going to be boring that way. So at some point, you would have to trade off some values or the ways of doing certain things that you have learned in times past for the way they would prefer it done. It's not them imposing anything on you or changing your ways of life, but the approach to certain things. Yes, the approach.
Can you give an example of that?
Same example with a very opinionated person, and always want to express themselves, but they're doing it in such a manner that you feel they are ordering you. You don't want them to order you around. It's a respectful relationship, as Edwina rightly said, and so you want to make sure that this person is respecting you even in doing such a thing. People I straight away turn off by people who will speak about everything just because they know of a subject matter. Once it comes up, they are going to say something about it, and once they have an issue with you, they come up front to you and tell them. Meanwhile, if you approach them that same way, they get so offended. You see, so it turns people off. Such a character, for instance, turns people off easily. But if you have a guy that is willing to work it out with you, he identifies this as a problem that bothers him. It makes him think about whether he'll be able to deal with some of these things when you have settled down. Then you should be quickly starting to think about how to do it in a more acceptable way to him, which will be very, very important. So again, as I said from earlier, your qualities, the deal breaker is going to be whether you share similar values. That's going to be very, very important. Your drive for professional career success, academic success, how you want to raise your kids and things like that, faith and love for God and the things of God, love for family, both families, and love for people in general, things of such nature. When you encounter people who have them, what it takes for you to settle down, nobody tells you. There could be something very outstanding about them that is a turn-off, but you can consider all the other things that they are and say, well, forget it, we're going to work on this one. I love you for who you are, and I want to settle down with you because of this, your genuineness. Okay, so it's a whole lot of things. The list goes on and on and on, but nobody will be able to fulfill all your lists. I mean, I check off every item on your list as you've made it. So the one you are willing to trade off must be something that is not so critical to the survival of the relationship.
I see. Edwina, do you agree?
She's out to disagree everything today, so
No.
Hey, welcome back. That was part 1 of my ride with Edwina and Philip on living a single life. I hope you learned something from them as usual. Please make sure you subscribe to our videos on YouTube and also follow us on Instagram and Facebook so that you'll be notified once new videos are posted. I'll see you next time with part 2 of my ride with Edwina and Philip. Until then, let's keep love alive. Bye.